Well, my friends, you made it. If you are hearing this message, you made it into 2026. I believe this will be one of the most consequential years politically as far as midterm elections go, probably that I have ever covered. I've said before, the 2012 election, I thought Obama was the better candidate than Mitt Romney, but I didn't believe that it was existentially important as an inflection point in the way that I think the 2026 midterms are going to be. And we have to start with the question: do you realize what's coming this year? The importance of this year. Most people hear midterms and they go, yeah, it's another election. Some seats flip, cable news argues about it for a week, and then we kind of move on and nothing really changes. I don't think that that's what 2026 is. 2026 is a potentially massive inflection point, a power cutoff of sorts, and it may be the most politically important moment of Donald Trump's second term. If Republicans lose the House in 11 months, Trump effectively stops governing. He doesn't slow down. It's not Trump is facing challenges. He's done. No major legislation, no sweeping tax changes, no big immigration bills, no structural rewrites of the government. What he will be left with are executive orders, lawsuits, and noise. He'll keep the microphone. He'll lose the leverage. And this matters because authoritarian projects don't age well. They don't like divided government. They require momentum and constant pressure and institutions that are either aligned or too afraid to do anything about it. If Democrats take the House, investigations come back, subpoenas come back, budget brinkmanship stops working in the same way, and the fantasy of total control runs into math. And that is why 2026 is far from symbolic. It is strategic and mechanical. Same president, but it would be a completely different reality if Democrats take the House. Now, on the other hand, if Trump keeps the House, he gets 2 more years of real power. He gets to push, he gets to threaten, he gets to extract loyalty. If he loses it, he becomes something else. He will be louder and angrier and more online, but more boxed in. And this really goes beyond Trump himself. 2026 doesn't just decide the rest of Trump's presidency. It will shape 2028. Trump wants to be the kingmaker. That's the end game. It looks like he's leaning J.D. Vance. He wants to decide who inherits the party. The assumption in MAGA world is that if Trump retains his position at the top of the Republican Party, he will get to decide, and he will probably pick J.D. Vance. But Trump's power as the kingmaker depends on perceived strength. And if he loses the House in 2026 and has nothing to show for 2 whole years heading into 2028, he is going to be weakened. He's going to be a president that got checked, the leader whose agenda stalled, the guy who couldn't deliver in his final 2 years in office. And that's going to change how seriously any endorsement Trump makes is taken. So if you are someone in the Republican Party thinking, I want to run in 2028, you want arguably a weak Trump so his endorsement of J.D. Vance, which seems inevitable but maybe won't matter quite as much. It will determine who wins the House, will determine which factions start to break away. It will determine whether the party elites feel that they still need Donald Trump. And so a diminished Trump will be unable to crown successors. He will instead be fighting it out with rivals. And Trump understands this. And that's why everything feels so rushed. The rhetoric is escalating. The pressure on institutions is frantic. And Trump understands that his window is not 4 years long. It's closer to 2. Once 2026 hits, the direction locks in. Win the House, you govern through 2028 and pick your successor. You lose it, the rest of the term is playing defense. And the part that people miss is that this is a sort of fork in the road. Trump can either spend the back half of his presidency, the back quarter of his presidency, reshaping the country, or he can spend it raging at the walls, throwing ketchup while Congress ignores him. And it decides whether he enters 2028 as a kingmaker or as a very loud orange guy with declining control. The next election could be fought on Trump's terms, or it could be fought with Trump yelling from the sidelines. This is not another midterm. We either accelerate in this dystopian authoritarian direction or that stalls. Trump is acting like he knows it. Trump seems panicked. And we are going to be looking at the potential outcomes of this election very closely. We have time. It's only the first show of the year. But those are the stakes. And that is why it is so important that we not lose sight of it. And part of that is going to include activating as voters. Part of that will include supporting the candidates you want to see win. And part of it is going to likely also involve supporting the independent media that you think is doing a good job. Hopefully this is one of those shows. If not, well, hopefully there are others you do think are doing a good job. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.